Giving all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushai Bahashim, Rakak Kodash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and say peace, mercy, and blessings to all, to all the hopeful elect. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means he exists or he is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahushai, which means he is the deliverer. We are the Hebrew Israelites, okay? And there's 12 tribes that make up the Hebrew Israelites. Today, we're being so-called Black, Native American, Latin, Hispanic, Haitian, Jamaican, West Indian, okay, Native American, Seminole Indian, okay, pretty much the indigenous people of this land, North, Central, South America, okay, the natives, okay, if you will. We're the people that make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel, okay? So the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, people of Argentina, people of Chile, Chileans, Argentinians, Colombians, Uruguayans, Mexicans, okay? We're the people that make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel. But also according to the curses of Deuteronomy 28, we have been scattered all throughout the globe. The self-proclaimed white man, they're not white, they're red. They are the Edomites, the Idumeans, according to the Bible, okay? And the 1948ers, the people that are in the land right now, the people that control the monetary systems, the banks, they are the Idumeans, according to the Bible, all right? And according to Bible prophecy, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob, all right, who's Jacob? The tribes is the beginning of it that follow it, okay? And this is going to be a lesson on, the cashless society, the MOTB, the CHIP, okay? Because that's, that's one of the major signs that we're looking out for, okay? And this is how we know that we're in the end, because this is being pushed, this is being talked about more and more, really because it's the Holy Spirit, okay? So I'm going to play this video. You can find this on Rumble. You can just read it, It says, Great Reset, CBDC Central Bank Digital Currency. So this is what's coming, and it's been happening. It's been planned for centuries, okay? Going back to 2,000 years ago, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gave this prophecy to who? John the Revelator on the island of Patmos, okay? And now we see how it's playing out. Esau is in the rulership. The earth is being given into the hand of the wicked. He has total economic control over the people, okay? Political government, but he's not satisfied with that, okay? He actually wants to control each and every individual, man. Your whereabouts, what you do with your money, okay? Where it's going. He wants to track you. All of these things, okay? So I'm going to play this video.
Nature of this CBDC.
Slaughter them. You can't just let them, run around.
This is Richard Werner, the top academic scholar in the world on central banking. He wrote the book and did the documentary, The Princes of the Yen, about the Japanese central bank. Here he is in Malmo, Sweden, in May.
The nature of this CBDC, what is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that.
Right.
But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. And it was around this large and would be implanted under your skin.
Right, and this is why we call it the rice device. It's the size of a grain of rice. And where is it going? Underneath your skin. Okay, the size of a grain of rice. And where is it going? Underneath your skin. Okay, what is going to be used to replace? Okay, this is from, um, I got this from watching Elder Pasta Tahar's video. You can Google Beast Banking System, and it'll take you to the ECB, the European Central Bank, or research papers in economics. Okay, and this is what you get. It's actually an acronym. Okay, it's a assessment of system-wide risk and macro-prudential policies. Okay, the banking euro area stress test is a large-scale semi-structural model developed to analyze the area banking system from a macro-prudential perspective. The model combines the dynamics of approximately 90 of the largest euro area banks with those of individual euro area economies. Okay, and this is indeed the beast, the euro, the different nations over there. Um, you can just type in countries that adopted the euro. Okay, so now let's go to Rev 17, but let's look at the image. Okay, because it talks about what a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. Then you got the whore, which is Babylon the Great. All right, the USA riding upon that beast. Let me see if I can get a better image. Okay, nope. Okay, it says the 7 heads equals 7 governments or 7 kingdoms ruled by Esau. Okay, and what's the main thing he used to rule over his kingdoms? His banks. Okay, we got the Greeks. All right, the British, Germania Minor, Germania Major, Spanish, the French, the Romans. Okay, 7 heads are 7 kingdoms, right? Then you have 10 horns. You got Belgium. I'm trying to zoom in so you can read it. Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain and Portugal, England and Ireland, and West Germany. And most of these nations they all adopted the euro. Look at that: Germany, France, Spain, Italy, Portugal, Greece, Netherlands, Belgium. All these nations, I just read them. They're part of the 7 heads and the 10 horns. They're part of the beast. Okay, so when you look at what this is called, okay, it's called the beast. So they're becoming blatant with it, man. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem El Shai. It's the Most High is bringing these prophecies to pass, and he's revealing his mysteries to his men. Okay, look, Ireland's in there. Luxembourg, Vatican City, Netherlands. Okay, all of these countries have adopted the euro. Okay, so it's starting over there. Okay, so now on this website you can search things, right? Okay, so I believe I searched. Let me see, because you have the RFID, then you have the NFC CHIP. So let's search NFC CHIP. Okay. Okay. Well, this brought me something. I may have typed in it a little different, but anyway, This is what I found. Okay, the same website. You just type it in. Check this out. It says no cash, no coins, no cards, but you. Biohacking the future of payments. Okay. This chapter introduces a brief overview of transhumanism, biohacking, and embodied technologies as modes of payment. So this is Revelation 13. Okay. Specifically, it details the usage of biocompatible MICR implants, which in some cases replace keychains, car keys, business cards, IDs, and credit cards. Okay, and that's what is also going to replace your healthcare information, your social security card, your birth certificate, all these things that people lose and they put you to hell to get it back. They're gonna, introduce this to you or to the public to the idea of convenience. So they're gonna package it real nice, and there's gonna be all type of incentives for taking this MOTB, such as instant payment. Because when you read the scriptures, you're supposed to get paid at the end of the day or the end of your shift, pretty much. Okay, so they're gonna introduce that to you. They're gonna relieve you of any debts you may have. They're gonna make it sound real good, man. Okay, it says, because of this implantable mode of payment, consumers pay for their purchases by tapping their hands on readers. Okay, and that's the main point, because if you get this device inside of you, that's what the scriptures talk about in Revelation 13, 14, okay, and 16, who've taken it. Okay, and Revelation 3 is called the hour of temptation, a season where you're going to be enticed to sin, and this is going to come upon all the world. Okay, it says consumers pay for their purchases by tapping their hands on readers or scanning their foreheads. Right now, you can just use your smartphone, Google Pay, which that's conditioning you with the tap pay. Okay, if you do have a card, they tell you to insert your CHIP, okay, or other point of scale terminals that can interact using near field communications, NFC. Here, there's no need for cash, coins, or any other physical bank card, only their hands. You see, this is what's coming upon the earth. Okay, so let me go back to this video.
So you might have missed what happened Wednesday afternoon at the Fed, but they started their CBDC. Maybe we should start having the conversation of, gosh, this looks like the mark of the beast.
COVID makes it accelerates the process of digitalization and automatization. It legitimizes the deployment of mass surveillance, even in democratic countries, and it makes surveillance go under your skin.
Catherine Austin Fitz, I have a question for you, ma'am. These central bank digital currencies, how do they work?
So it's a digital currency and an all-digital system that can be controlled centrally. So, for example, we saw during...
And this is what Esau wants, starting with the head tribe of Esau, Amalek, because you average Joes here, you Caucasians or white people of Babylon the Great, for the most part, you are caught out of the deal. You're getting the short end of the stick, because here it is, you have to render under Caesar too. You being taxed the hell out of, okay? See, all the things that Jake has been going through, you're now going through. You're now going through economic woes, all right? You're facing inflation, okay? You're seeing the dollar be devalued, losing You're losing your spending power every day, and that's causing miseries, okay, upon you Babylonians, man. Okay, you people of the land of the free, home of the brave, you self-proclaimed white people. Okay, but that's the judgment of Yahweh Shem El Shai. And another thing, you people here, most of you, you hate the JOOs, not understanding that that's another tribe. You're of the same stock. Go back to Esau, Edom. Okay, so you guys like to point the finger. You're pointing the finger at the JOOs as if they're Esau, and they're pointing the finger right back at you, saying, no, you guys are Esau, when in all actuality, you're both Edomites. Okay, I got this book in front of me. It's called Who is Esau Edom by Charles A. Wiseman. Okay, I'll Google it so you can understand what I'm talking about. Okay. This is the book I have right in front of me. Okay. And in this book, Mr. Wiseman wrote this book from the standpoint that the white American are the people of Jacob. They're the people of the 12 tribes. Okay. Because of, manifest destiny, how they got this land, how they conquered the indigenous people, how they put the so-called colored people in slavery, not understanding that that's the blessing that Isaac gave to Esau, which is what? To live by the sword, to have the fatness of the earth, to have the dew of heaven from above, and to break off his yoke from Jacob. And that's what happened during the Renaissance, man. Okay? The people don't understand that the medieval times, the Byzantine Empire, the so-called Dark Ages, the colored nations were ruling the Moors, etc. And your people were in subjection. This is why you cried to be allowed to dwell in the caves, all right? Caucasus Mountains, why you call yourself Caucasian today. Okay, that's how you broke the yoke from off the neck, man. When you got free. Okay, and during the time of the Renaissance, so what did? They reestablished the Roman Empire. Okay.
COVID-19, there were rules saying you couldn't travel more than a certain amount of miles from your house, right? So there's certain behaviors you couldn't do. This is a digital system where the central bankers, in very centralized ways, can make rules about what you can and cannot do with your money, and they can enforce the rules with total surveillance.
That's exactly what they want to do. They want to force those rules, what you can and can't do with your money. If you owe something, they just take that shit out. If you buck up against the system, they just cut you off, kill you from society. Okay? This is the days that we're headed into.
People were to read Executive Order 14067. What kind of things are they going to find within Biden's Executive Order 14067?
So they're not going to understand what CBDCs are by reading the executive order.
Okay.
So I would recommend that everybody go to Solari.com, and there's a section on the homepage called Cash Every Day. And if you click on it, there are a series of videos that will explain to you in very short order. The first one is a 56-second video from Augustine Carstens, the general manager of the Bank of International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland, who will explain to you in 56 seconds exactly how CBDCs will work.
That guy's about to come on next. Okay?
We tend to
This is Augustine Carsten, all right, who is the GM for the Bank of International Settlements. Okay?
establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression.
See, they can't do that with the dollar. Like, for example, you can't, people who are, have trap houses that they sell drugs and shit, where does Esau get his cut? How can he control it? How can he stop the flow of cash that's coming into those hands? Okay, he can't. You got to remember, this is Esau's currency, Caesar, and the main controllers of this currency in these banks are the seed of Esau through Amalek, who are the Idumeans. Really, they're all self-proclaimed white people, Caucasian. They're Esau, but the head tribe who's really running the show and who's in control of these banks is Amalek, the JOOs. They run all these banking systems. Okay, and this is how they gain economic control over the people of Babylon the Great. It's how they enslave you. Okay, and the rest of the world. That's why they want a world banking system.
Of central bank liability, and also we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
How concerned are you about the collapse of the U.S. dollar, sir?
I'm very concerned. And it's more than just the U.S. There's a thing called the BRICS nations. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And what happened in 2021, I believe, when we abandoned Afghanistan, on that day, Saudi Arabia shifted allegiances from America, trading in dollars, petrodollars. Saudi Arabia switched sides to China and Russia. It's the end of
the petrodollar was pretty much, the thing that propped the USD up, okay? Because it made other nations have to exchange their currency to the USD, all right, in order to buy gold in order to get oil from Saudi Arabia, you had to exchange in U.S. dollars, meaning the other nation, they had to deal with the U.S. dollar, okay? But now, since that happened with Saudi Arabia and Babylon the Great, Esau, Saudi Arabia is making deals with other nations. So these other nations now, they don't have to deal with the dollar. So the dollar is done, okay?
Dollar system. So the end is near for the U.S. dollar, and my concern is it's going to wipe out stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. Just for my generation, the boomer generation.
Yeah, these people, man, you would have no 401ks. Your life savings gonna be through. Okay, people are getting ready to lose everything, man. Okay, it's gonna be worse than the Great Depression of the 1930s.
We're in serious trouble because the only reason our stocks, bonds, mutual funds are up is because the Fed and the Treasury just kept printing more and more money. Instead of fixing the problem from 2008, they just kept printing more money.
And that's what's happening even to this day. Let's just go to the debt clock, man. Look at the world debt clocks, right? You got Babylon the Great, who's about $35 billion trillion in debt, man. Okay, public debt 90%. Okay, and it's growing up. It's going up by the second. Okay.
And it's about to come to an end. So that's why when I say to people, buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin, you want to stay in what I call real assets, tangible assets. That's my opinion. Most people say buy U.S.
Right,
Treasury.
you heard he said real assets. So it's gold and silver are real assets. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust anything printed by the U.S. government, but that's me. I don't like anything that can be printed.
Now, the BRICS nations, again, to repeat, for everybody who's hearing this for the first time, you might hear about the BRICS nations. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, Africa. Those comprise roughly 41% of the Earth's population, and they are teaming up together to unseat the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. And now you have Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Nigeria, Venezuela, Algeria, Turkey, and Argentina all teaming up to unseat the U.S. dollar as the world's U.S.
Right, because you gotta understand that America is the beast is the whore that's riding upon the beast, has been what? The hammer of the earth, putting sanctions on these other nations, all right? Disrupting the flow of supplies, stopping them from getting equipment so that they can build up their military. Okay, so alliances are being formed against the West, and really what's happening is that Esau is becoming greatly despised amongst the nations, especially the 1948ers.
On it, man. You're on it. You're on it. Everybody, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. You have the macro picture. Very few people have that point of view. And the great reset will be the collapse of the dollar.
Inflation.
Inflation.
Hyperinflation. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's get that, man. That's what's coming. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6. And verse 5, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Okay, let's go into this word. Let's look up some words here. The word there is zygos.
Strong's G 2218, Zugos. Zugos.
You see that? A yoke as that of slavery. Okay, so this black horse is talking about or represents the hardcore chattel slavery that the so-called minorities, people of color, right, indigenous people, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Brazilians, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Negroes, Haitians, Jamaicans, went through here in North and South America, man. Okay? And when he opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld in Lord black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. The balances goes into zygos, which is slavery. Okay? Who were in slavery here? The Israelites, even unto this day. Economic slavery, man. Okay? Taxes, licenses, you have to get permission from the government to hunt, to get fish, things that you should be able to do naturally. You know? Revelation 6:6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny. A penny is a day's wages, man. Okay? So it's going to take you, actually, let's go into this word penny. Let's look at some words here.
Strong's G 5518, Choinix. Choinix.
This goes, the word there is hornix. It says a dry measure containing 4 kotle, or 2 satari, less than our quart, 1 liter, or as much as would support a man of moderate appetite for a day. Okay, so it's pretty much a ration, if you will. Okay, so it's a ration of food, or a measure of wheat.
Strong's G 4621, Citas. Citas.
Which goes
Thayer's Lexicon, related entry, Citian. Citian.
which goes into grain, especially wheat, corn. Okay. Okay, pasta is made pasta, cereal, bread, crackers, bulgur, beer, sauces, soups, cookies, flour, tortillas. Okay, crepes, granola bars, salad dressing, snacks, Okay, rye bread. Bread, crumpets, muffins, noodles, pasta, biscuits, cakes, pastries, cereal bars, sweet and savory, snack, food, crackers, crisp brands, sauces, confectionery. Okay, so you can make a lot of things from meat, but the main source of meat used to make what? Bread. What's in our prayer? Give us this day our daily bread. Okay, so it's gonna take you a day's wages for pretty much a loaf of bread, or maybe just a couple of slices of bread, because when you go to this word measure, it's a ration, pretty much. Okay, you look up the word penny. The word here is denarion.
Strong's G 1220. Denarion. Denarion.
Which goes back to the Roman denarius, which means containing 10, a Roman silver coin in New Testament time. It took its name from being equal to 10 asses, so this one coin would get you 10 donkeys. And if you got land, 10 asses, that'll make a difference. Okay, got to remember, real wealth is assets, man. Land, cattle, gold, silver. Okay, women, children, families, that's real wealth. A number after 217 BC increased to 16. Okay, so after 217 BC, it increased to 16. So you could get 16 asses or 16 donkeys from one coin, man. Okay, it was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. So, shit, today, people, you might make $120, $140 after taxes. You might make $150 after taxes. You might get like $118. Okay, so pretty much, it's gonna take you a day's wages for a loaf of bread, man. Okay, let's read it again. And I heard in the voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So let's look at barley.
Strong's G 2915. Krithe. Krithe.
It says barley is a cereal grain, which that's AI overview. That's a new thing now, AI. Used in many food and beverages, including bread. Barley is used in many breads. Okay, so it's gonna take a day's wages, a day's pay, man, which you might make in a day $120. That's the price of a loaf of bread is gonna skyrocket to cereal, bread. Excuse me. So pretty much a lot of the same things you can make with wheat and barley, but pretty much the foundation of that is what bread. Okay. So I'll read it again. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. So all of that, so that little ration of food for a day's wages. Okay, and see not thou hurt, not the oil and the wine, which that represents the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the truth. Why? Because Revelation 7, it tells you that destruction is not going to get let loose until the elect are sealed in their foreheads. Okay, but still people going to fall in many miseries, man. One of those miseries is the hyperinflation, the economic collapse of the stock market, things of that nature. Says this is from Investopedia.com. A stock market crash is an abrupt drop in stock prices, which may trigger a prolonged bear market or signal economic trouble ahead. Market crashes can be made worse by fear in the market and herd behavior among panic investors is to sell. So what's going to happen is stocks going to crash. A lot of people going to sell their shit, okay? And a lot of money's going to be lost, man. And it's going to be a lot of panicking. Federal Reserve history. It says on Black Monday, October 28, 1929, the Dow Jones Industrial Average declined nearly 13%. Federal Reserve leaders deferred on how to respond to the event and support the financial system. It says the sudden surge strained banks as deposits increased. Banks' reserve requirements rose, but banks' reserves fell as depositors withdrew cash. Banks purchased loans and checks. The principal method of deposit funds cleared slowly. Okay, see, what you got to understand is these banks, when you put your money in the bank, they are lending that shit out immediately with interest. Okay? So imagine everybody in America go to get their money out the banks. They don't have it. Okay? So there's going to be a run on banks. ATMs are going to crash. It's going to be a shit show, man. It's going to be a bloodbath, pretty much. Okay? But this is the future. But through that, will give rise to a new currency. So they want to do totally away with cash. We're moving towards a cashless society. Okay? This is from End Time Headlines. It says, it starts off with his opinion. It says, Paul Dixon pulls out a $20 bill recently when he was at a baseball game at Camden Yards and wanted to buy a beer. Another guy in line started laughing because there's no place in the ballpark where he can spend cash, said Dixon. Dixon, who's 85, who is an Orioles fan, while his son and grandson are National fans, paid for the $17.50 beer by credit card. He knew that the Nationals' home stadium, Nationals Park, had become a cashless stadium, but he didn't know other baseball stadiums like Camden Yards also stopped accepting cash. So what's that showing you? And these sports, these are the bread and circus. You know, Esau uses this to distract the masses from the laws and legislation that he passes, the fucking Bohemian Grove sacrifice that he's doing in the dark, different things that he's doing. He uses sports and entertainment to distract the people. Okay, but now when you ask go to a stadium, they won't take your cash. Okay, so people are being prepped and people are being conditioned to stop carrying cash, because if you go to use it, who's accepting it? Okay, Dixon, a book author, is not opposed to using his credit card or other methods of payment. Before he moved to an independent living facility, he had most of his bills in auto pay from his checking account. He still writes a check occasionally, and he's had a PayPal account for years. But Dixon said he's offended that his choice to use cash where he wants is slowly becoming more limited. It's not that I'm livid. It's not some injustice, but it's sort of this thing where I say, wait, it's my money. I'll pay you however I want, said Dixon. It's almost like their businesses saying, well, we're removing an option which is for our benefit. Cash and checks, the dominant forms of currency for generations, are now increasingly not welcome. Okay, and that's all I'm going to read from this article. As you can see, you know, it's kind of lengthy. Okay, but that's the point. Cash and checks is becoming obsolete. Go back to this: no cash, no coin, no cards, but you. Biohacking the future of payments. You people are now the future of payments. They can just put a rice device in you, track you, all right, and introduce it to you through an idea of convenience, make it marketable, okay, condition you to get it, incentivize you to get it, and now they got you. They have control over you, okay? This is the future. This is what it's talking about in Rev 6:13, man. So Revelation 13, I'm going to jump down to 16. It says, and he calls it all, both small and great. When you look at those words, there's meaning there. It's not just, you just insignificant and somebody who's great. Nope. Go into small, it goes into of age, which is dealing with what? Newborns, toddlers, adolescents, children. Someone's great, elderly. Okay, think of people, who children get swapped right after birth, kidnapping, elderly people, people with Alzheimer's, people who don't have very good memory, people in nursing homes who need to be tracked or have their vitals checked. Okay, rich and poor, whether you're on a Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos level, or under a bridge somewhere. Okay, free and bond, whether you can get up, hop in your car, get on the highway, go to work, and drive back home, or you're serving time in the prison. To receive a mark in their right hand or an enforce, and this is a carnal mark, meaning it's of the flesh, because it's coming from a carnal man, a carnal system. Okay, Esau is not a spiritual man; he's a carnal man. He lives by the sword. All right, that means there's nothing spiritual about him. We're talking about a man who sold his birthright for the same red pottage. Okay, which represents what? Immediate sustenance, meaning he had no patience, he had no spirit, no discipline to deny himself. Well, that's Esau, that microwave spirit. Okay, so this man, he can't give you nothing spiritual. When you go into this word mark here, word there's a ragma.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Which means imprinted and an imprinted mark. Okay, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. Okay. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the BEAST, or the number of his name. So you won't be able to, how you gonna do anything? How you gonna pay any bills if you can't buy or sell? I mean, if you can't pay bills, meaning you can't pay your rent, that's gonna lead to what? An eviction. Can't pay registration. You can't register your vehicle. All sorts of scenarios play out, man. And this is what Esau wants, total control. This is why it's called an hour of temptation, because you'll be tempted, but how will you respond to this temptation, man? This is why we're blowing the trumpet, because it's a very serious time that we're coming into, the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay? This is Revelation 3 and verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. And patience means to suffer. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So, the Most High has been having his men out suffering for years in his flesh, down here, suffering, working, different ailments, hitting the highways and hedges, dealing with all sorts of scoffers, mental battles, things of that nature, man. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, but there's a great reward for suffering for the Lord, okay? To be kept, all right, to have angels and guard about you, to be guided by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, to be sustained during this time. Because a lot of people, the only way they feel they're gonna be able to be sustained is by bowing down the need of all. Okay? I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. So everybody on the world is going to be tested. Okay? Let's go into the definition of this word try. The word is perazzo.
Strong's G 3985. Pyrazzo. Pyrazzo.
which means of temptations of the devil. Who is the devil? Esau, Edom, so-called white man. Meaning everybody's getting ready to be tempted by this damn devil, man. Okay? The root word of try is para.
Strong's G 3984. Pyra.
If you read this
Pyra.
if you read this part here, root word etymology, okay, it tells you how you're going to be tried through the idea of piercing. Okay? Go back to Rev 13 and 18. It says, here is the wisdom, let him that had understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 666. This goes into
Strong's G 5516. Chai, Xi, stigma. Chai, Xi, stigma.
we go into the root word there. The root word is G4742. It's stigma.
Strong's G 4742. Stigma. Stigma.
Which is a mark pricked and branded upon the body to ancient Oriental usage. Slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. Yeah, I watched that show Spartacus. You know, they have the letter B because they belong to the house of Biohacking. That's the mark that he put upon all the gladiators, man, the titans, you know, which is what a mark of ownership. And that's what this rights device is all about. It's marking you for ownership. And it's going to come upon all the world, hour of temptation, hour meaning the season, not literally 60 minutes, but a season of temptation. It's enticement to sin. A season where they're going to try to entice you either through fear, you know, wherever it may be. Because it tells you in Edge 16, second Edge 16, that actually let's just get it. You know. This is second Edge 16. You have to go all the way down to 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And that's the devil coming down with great wrath. Right? We can also read this in Revelation 12, verse 12. Right? And the reason why they're going to come down with great wrath because they know they only have a short time to fulfill their NWO, to start pricking people with their device and to try to achieve what they want to achieve before the Lord comes back. Okay? And they shall take away certain of you and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. And that's that haragma. Okay? And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. And you give in, you know, to this devil and you take what he tries to offer you, you're going to be destroyed, you're going to be reproached, you're going to be mocked, okay? You're going to be brought low. Ultimately, you're going to be nuked. You know, you receive a grievous sore. It's Revelation 16 and verse 2. And the first went out and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So people have very nasty, grievous sores. And that's how we're going to know who took this thing. Okay.
Strong's G 1668, Helkas. Helkas.
Which goes into a sore, a wound producing a discharge of pus, an ulcer. Okay? This is going to happen to the people who take it.
Strong's G 2556, Kakas. Kakas.
Which goes into troublesome, destructive. So that sore that they're going to get, man, that shit going to be something crazy. That shit going to look nasty. It's going to look very, very disgusting. It's going to be right on people's foreheads and right on people's hands. It's Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and you can read that, this I ain't trying to be funny, make light of the scriptures, but it's a sharp admonishment or a sharp warning, and you should imagine your parent just giving you a sharp warning, if you go outside this house, don't get your ass whooped, okay? And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Now, what is this talking about? It's talking about that sore, because they're going to get that sore, and then on top of that, they're going to get destroyed in nuclear destruction, all right, which is the lake of fire, all right? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. That's when this place get hit with nukes, and there's a great earthquake because of that. And in the midst of that, the elect are going to be translated into what the world calls UFOs, okay? And all the people that, took this man's mark, they're going to see that, they're going to feel that nuclear destruction, okay, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, because Yahweh Shai is going to return at that time, and the elect and the angels, and Yahweh Shai is going to watch the wicked burn, okay, from where? From the, pretty much from a bird's eye view from the chariots, so there's a very great judgment for taking this thing, man. So I just want to do a lesson on that. Salaki, that was kind of lengthy. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Say shalom to the elect.